From the opening possession, Indiana made their intentions crystal clear. This wasn't going to be another night where whistles decided the narrative. The Fever came out aggressive, attacking both ends with a level of urgency that head coach Stephanie White had demanded just hours earlier. Before the game, she made it clear there had to be desperation in every possession, urgency in every play, and grit in every loose ball. She wasn't speaking to the media. She was sending a message directly to her team, and they answered it from the very first moment. The Fever scored early, defended hard, and instantly forced Atlanta into uncomfortable positions. The Dream, who rely heavily on perimeter rhythm, found themselves suffocated. Indiana's defense didn't just contest shots, it erased confidence. By halftime, Atlanta had hit just one of their 10 attempts from beyond the arc. Their ball movement looked rushed, their sets broken, and their body language uneasy. The Fever weren't just winning, they were dictating the pace, strangling Atlanta's usual strengths until there was nothing left but frustration. This wasn't just another win. It was history. For the first time since 2002, Indiana went wire to wire in a playoff game, holding the lead for all 40 minutes. No ties, no lead changes, no doubt. Every possession hammered home the same message. This game belonged to Indiana. And it wasn't just the score that proved it. It was the energy inside the building, the way every defensive stop earned roars as loud as a three-pointer, the way the fans rose with every hustle play. The crowd knew what the Fever were playing for, and they matched that desperation with their voices. Kelsey Mitchell was the heartbeat of the offense, and her performance couldn't have come at a more critical time. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, Mitchell carried the weight of being the go-to scorer, and she delivered. 19 points, 4 three-pointers, and countless moments where she shifted momentum back in Indiana's favor. These weren't just buckets, they were daggers. Each shot stretched the lead further, each drive carved through Atlanta's defense, and each celebration pulled the crowd even deeper into the fever pitch of the game. This was Mitchell's night, her moment to prove that she could shoulder the franchise in its biggest playoff game in nearly a decade. And she did so with poise and precision. Alongside her, Aliyah Boston played the role of anchor. 15 points, rebounds, assists. Her stat line was steady, but her presence was commanding. Against Atlanta's physical front court, she didn't just hold her ground, she controlled it. Every post-up demanded attention, every touch inside forced adjustments, and every double team she drew turned into opportunities for her teammates. Boston has always been known for her ability to dominate the paint, but in this game she displayed something more, a leadership that went beyond numbers. She was calm, calculated, and completely in control, giving Indiana the foundation they needed to play with confidence from start to finish. Natasha Howard added her own layer of toughness, scoring 12 points and battling for rebounds that often kept possessions alive or ended Atlanta's hope of second-chance opportunities. Howard wasn't flashy, but she didn't need to be. Her value came in her relentlessness, fighting under the rim, muscling her way into scoring chances, and providing the kind of grit that playoff basketball demands. But it wasn't just the veterans who carried the night. Rookie Michaela Timpson stepped onto the floor with limited minutes and seized her moment. 9 points in 9 minutes, each one injected into the game like a jolt of electricity. She didn't play hesitant, didn't look nervous, didn't shrink from the stage. Instead, she attacked. Her scoring run came at a time when the Fever needed energy most, and the crowd responded with every basket, sensing that this was a glimpse of Indiana's future shining in the present. And then came Lexi Hull's buzzer-beating three at the end of the third quarter. The play itself was spectacular, but it was the eruption that followed which made it unforgettable. The shot didn't just extend the lead, it broke Atlanta's spirit. Gainbridge exploded, fans leaping to their feet, players swarming Hull, and the noise echoing like thunder through the arena. It was the kind of moment that playoff legends are built on, and it cemented the fact that this was Indiana's night. When the final buzzer sounded, the Fever had their first playoff win in nearly 10 years, a 77-60 statement victory that silenced every doubt swirling after Game 1. This wasn't just survival, it was reclamation. Indiana had taken back their narrative, showing they weren't at the mercy of officials, injuries, or adversity. They could dominate, dictate, and deliver, and the best part? Caitlin Clark was right there on the sidelines, standing and clapping, fueling the energy even without stepping onto the court. Her presence tied everything together. Fans, players, coaches, all united in one collective moment of belief. The Fever had proven that even short-handed, even without their superstar, they could win big on the biggest stage. After the game, the locker room was buzzing with emotion. Kelsey Mitchell spoke about resilience, about how the team had weathered ups and downs all year and finally saw their fight rewarded. Aliyah Boston called the defense a masterclass and described the joy inside the room as electric, proof that this team had finally tapped into its true identity. It wasn't just celebration, it was conviction. But as the confetti of victory settled, reality set back in. The series was tied 1-1, and everything now hinged on Game 3 in Atlanta. The dream would have home court, the crowd, and the desperation of a team staring elimination in the face. Indiana knew the challenge, but they also knew something more important. They had already proved they could control their destiny. Atlanta's problems were laid bare in Game 2. Poor shooting, broken rhythm, and an inability to handle Indiana's pressure. Their 39.4% field goal percentage won't cut it in elimination games, and their reliance on perimeter play left them exposed against a defense that contested every pass, every drive, every shot. For the Fever, the blueprint was clear. Carry the same urgency, the same defensive intensity, and the same unshakable belief onto the road. And that belief may be the biggest weapon Indiana carries into Game 3. The pressure isn't on them anymore. It's on Atlanta. The Dream are expected to win at home, but Indiana is the team that just broke a nearly decade-long playoff drought. They are the ones playing with house money, and that freedom can make them dangerous. They've already silenced the refs, already quieted the doubts, and now they've got the chance to shock the league. For nearly 10 years, Indiana fans have waited for this feeling, for resilience to become reality, for unity to be more than words, for grit to translate into wins. Game 2 gave them all of it. And now Game 3 offers something bigger. The chance to change the trajectory of a franchise, to prove that this team doesn't just belong in the playoffs, but belongs among the league's best. The Fever are no longer the underdog, just happy to be here. They are the storm, and the Dream will have to weather it. Indiana showed what happens when adversity fuels rather than breaks, when every player rises together, when the heartbeat of a franchise matches the passion of its fans. Game 2 wasn't just a win, it was a message. And now the question is simple. Can Indiana carry that same fire into Atlanta and close the door? If you believe they can, drop a "Let's Go Fever" in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. The Fever aren't finished yet, and neither are we.